Good morning, guys. Last session we discussed about stereotype annotations. In the last session we discussed about stereotype annotations which are used to represent our Java class as Spring Bean. Okay. Today's session we are going to start with IOC under DI. Today's session we are going to start with IOC container and dependency injection. Okay. Now all right. Stereotype annotations we discussed in the last session, which are used to represent our Java class as a Spring Bean. So what are the annotations we have seen? We have seen at component, we have seen at service annotation, we have seen at repository annotation, we can use at controller, we can use at the rate rest controller, at the rate rest controller, and we have seen at the rate configuration annotation, and we have seen at the rate bean annotation. Out of all these, at bean is method level annotation. Out of this, bean is method level annotation. Component, service, repository, controller, rest controller, configuration, bean. But it is a general purpose annotation to represent our Java class as a Spring Bean. Component is a general purpose annotation which is used to represent our Java class as a Spring Bean. Java class as a Spring Bean. Okay. Now, at service, this is also used to represent our Java class as a Spring Bean. But when you are using a business layered architecture, when you are writing a classes with business logic, to represent those business classes as a Spring Bean, we are going to use at service annotation. We are going to use at service annotation. The next one is repository. The next one is the repository. This also used to represent our Java class as a Spring Bean. But but when you are going to develop persistence layer, then those classes will be, or that persistence layer classes will be represented as Spring Beans by using repository annotation. Okay. Next one is at controller. Next one is at controller. What is the purpose of at controller? This is also used to represent our class as a Spring Bean, but this we will use in the Spring WebMVC module. Similarly, REST controller will be available. Similarly, REST controller will be available. What is the purpose of REST controller? What is the purpose of REST controller? So when you want to develop a distributed application, we will represent our class as a distributed component. For that, we are going to use REST controller annotation. Okay. After that, we have a configuration. If we want to represent our Java class as a Spring Bean, or if you want to represent our Java class as a configuration class, then we are going to use at configuration annotation. We are going to use at configuration annotation. After that, we have at bean annotation. We are having at bean annotation, which is a method level annotation. If you don't want IOC container to create the object for your class and you want to manage the dependency, you want to manage the dependency, we want to manage that. If you want to create the object on your own, then you will go for at the rate bean annotation, that is method level annotation. All good, fine. Next, what is IOC container and what is dependency injection? IOC and DI are fundamental concepts of Spring Framework. IOC container and dependency injections are fundamental concepts of Spring Framework. Without IOC and DI, there is no Spring. Without IOC and DI, there is no Spring. IOC and DI are fundamental concepts of Spring Framework. Okay, now, so IOC, what is this IOC? IOC stands for inversion of control. IOC stands for inversion of control. IOC stands for inversion of control. DI stands for dependency injection. DI stands for dependency injection. IOC stands for inversion of control. DI stands for dependency injection. Okay, now these two are fundamental concepts of the Spring Framework. Without these two, we can't imagine the Spring Framework. Okay, now what is this IOC and what is this DI? What is this IOC and what is this DI? IOC is a principle. IOC is a principle which is used to manage and collaborate. IOC is a principle which is used to manage and collaborate dependencies among the objects in the application. Guys, could you please read the definition? What is IOC? IOC is a principle which is used to manage and collaborate dependencies among the objects in the application. IOC is a principle which is used to manage and collaborate dependencies among the objects in the application. IOC is a principle which is used to manage and collaborate dependencies among the objects in the application. Okay, now, sir, what is the meaning of managing and collaborating the objects in the application? Okay, right. Here, if we take any project, multiple layers will be available. Some are called one is called persistent layer, service layer, web layer, user interface. Okay, so we will develop our applications by using layered architecture. We will use layered architecture to develop our application. First one is UI, second one is web layer, and next one is business layer, next one is business layer, then persistence layer will be available, which is also called as the DAO layer, data access layer, DAO layer. Now, we will develop our application by using this layered architecture. User interface, that means presentation layer will be available. Web layer, that means controller classes we are going to create. Web components we are going to create in the web layer. Next one, business layer. In the business layer, we are going to create the service components. In the DAO layer, in the persistence layer, we will create the repositories. We are going to create the repositories. In these layers, several classes will be available. In the web layer, several controllers will be available. Not one controller. In our application, multiple controllers will be available. Multiple web components will be available in our application. Multiple web components will be available in our application. Similarly, in the business layer also, several components will be available. In the business layer also, in the business layer, several components will be available. Several components will be available. Coming the DAO, several persistent components will be available. DAO layer. DAO layer. Okay, we are going to create multiple classes in our application. Now, web layer classes should talk to business layer classes. Business layer classes should talk to DAO layer. Controller will talk to service, service will talk to DAO. Controller will talk to service, service will talk to DAO. Now, end user will perform the operation in user interface. Okay, he may click a button, he will submit a form, he will click a button, he will select something. End user will perform some operation in the user interface. Then that request will come to web layer. In the web layer, one controller should execute. One controller should execute. That means in the web layer, several components are there. For these components, objects should be created. So when user click on a button, one controller method should execute. So who will create the object for that controller? Who is going to create the object for that controller? Okay. Now, once the controller method is called, that controller should call service layer method. Who will create the object for service layer? How service layer object will be available for the controller? And service should call the DAO method. Who will create the object for the DAO? Who will pass the DAO? Who will give the DAO object to the service layer? So like this, in our application, several classes will be available. Those classes are dependent on other classes. One class will be dependent on the another class. One class will have a dependency with the another class. Web layer, business layer, and DAO layer. Are you guys able to understand this? So one class will be dependent on the another class. One class will be dependent on the another class. Okay. Good. Good. Now here, who is going to pass? Who is going to provide one class object to another class? Who is going to provide one class object to another class? That is our IOC container. IOC is a principle which is used to manage and collaborate dependencies among the objects in the application. Okay, guys, could you please read what is IOC? IOC is a principle which is used to manage and collaborate dependencies among the objects in the application. IOC is a principle which is used to manage and collaborate dependencies among the objects in the application. Are you guys clear with this? Are you guys clear with this? IOC is a principle which is used to manage and collaborate dependencies among the objects in the application. Now, here, dependency injection. Dependency injection. So what is dependency injection? The process of injecting one class object into another class is called dependency injection. The process of injecting one class object into another class is called as the process of injecting one class object into another class is called as dependency injection. The process of injecting one class object into another class is called as dependency injection. In Spring Framework, IOC will perform dependency injection. In Spring Framework, IOC will perform dependency injection. In Spring Framework, IOC is going to perform that dependency injection for us. Okay, guys, please read it. What is IOC and what is the DI? IOC is a principle which is used to manage and collaborate dependencies among the objects in the application. Okay, the process of injecting one class object into another class is called as dependency injection. Who is going to perform the dependency injection in the Spring framework? IOC container is responsible to perform dependency injection. Now, here, if you observe, business components are available. Business components will be injected into web components because web component should call the method of the business component. In order to call the method of the business component object should be injected into web component. Okay, IOC will do this. Similarly, if business component wants to call the DAO component, DAO object should be injected into business component. That also will be done by IOC. Dependency injection. Dependent object will be injected into target object. Dependent object will be injected into target object. So what is dependency injection? The process of injecting one class object into another class is called as dependency injection. Who is going to perform the dependency injection? IOC container is going to perform the dependency injection. What is IOC? IOC is a principle which is used to manage and collaborate dependencies among the objects in the application. Yes, please read it once again. Very, 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 very important. If you don't understand IOC and DI, then you cannot understand this Spring or Spring Boot. All of you clear with this? Okay, now. So here how IOC container will start in the Spring Boot and how many ways the dependency injection is going to happen. As part of Spring Boot application run method, in the Spring Boot, IOC container will start by run method. In Spring Boot application, run method is responsible to start IOC container. In Spring Boot application, run method is responsible to start IOC container. We have done the code debugging and we understood what is that run. Okay, what is the happening inside the run method? Run method is bootstrapping method in the Spring Boot that is responsible to start IOC container. That is responsible to start IOC container. Based on type of the application, based on type of the boot application, IOC will start. IOC will start. Okay, it is not following the same approach to start the IOC container for every boot application. Based on the type of application, it will decide how to start the IOC container. Based on the type of the boot application, IOC will start. Okay, what are the three types available? First one is reactive type, web servlet type, reactive type, web servlet type, and default type. Okay, here we can create three types of boot applications. First one is the default standalone application. First one is the default standalone application. Now, how it will understand whether our application is a default standalone application or our application is a servlet application or our application is a reactive application? How it will understand that? How it will understand our application is a default standalone application or our application is a reactive application or our application is a reactive application based on the starter available in the form.xml, based on the starter available in the form.xml. Okay, based on type of the boot application, IOC will start. So IOC will start based on starter available in the class path, based on starter available, based on starter available in class path, based on starter available in the class path, it will decide how to start IOC. How to start IOC. Okay, if you have Webflux starter, if you have Webflux starter, that means it is reactive. If you have web starter, if you have web starter, then it comes under servlet. Then it comes under servlet. If you don't have boot starter, if you have boot starter, then it comes under default category. So boot starter, starter Webflux, starter web, starter web, boot starter. Okay, now if you have starter Webflux, then it comes under reactive. If you have starter web, it comes under servlet category. It comes under servlet category. Okay, now if you have boot starter, it comes under default category. It comes under default category. Okay, so based on the starters available in the class path, based on the starters available in the class path, it is going to decide how to start the IOC container. Based on the starter available in the class path, it is going to decide how to start the IOC container. Are you guys able to understand? Here, if you have normal starter, it will use a class called annotation config application context. Annotation config application context class it is going to use to start the IOC container. So we can see that inside our run method, Spring application class. Go to start class. Go to start class. Inside the start class, we are calling run method. Go inside this run method. Then go inside this run method. Go inside this run method. Okay. Create application context. Create application context. This dot web application type. Deduce from class path. Here they have declared the variables reactive application context class. Okay. Servlet application context class. Reactive web application context. Reactive web application context. Here web application context. Web application context. Reactive application context. Servlet. Configurable web application context, reactive web application context. Earlier they used it to work with these classes. Now they are deprecated. Now they are deprecated. Earlier it used to work with annotation config servlet web server application context and annotation config reactive web server application context, like that the classes it is going to use now. So based on the starter available in the class path, it is going to start the IOC container, reactive web application context, starter web, servlet based on web application context, boot starter, default, annotation config, application context, annotation config, application context. So based on type of the application, it is going to start the IOC container. Based on type of the application, it is going to start the IOC container. Got my point? All right. Good. Fine. All of you understand what is that IOC and what is the DI? What is IOC and what is DI? Are you understand that? Okay, please read these points once. Hi guys, please read this. Dependency injection. Dependency injection is the process of injecting one class object into another class is called as dependency injection. In Spring Framework, IOC will perform dependency injection. Okay, now, so how IOC container will start in the Spring Boot? In Spring Boot application, run method is responsible to start IOC container. Now, based on type of application, IOC will start. Based on type of the application, IOC will start. Okay. Now, so how it will understand to start the IOC? It will check the class path. What are the starters available in the pom.xml? Okay. If you have WebFlex starter, it considers this application as a reactive application, and it is going to start the IOC container by using reactive web application context. If you have a starter web dependency, it will consider it is a servlet based application, and it is going to use web application context to start the IOC container. If you have a normal starter, then it will consider this as a default application, and it is going to use annotation config application context to start the IOC container. So programmer is responsible to start the IOC container, or boot is going to start the IOC container. Boot is going to start the IOC container. As a programmer, we are not going to start the IOC container. Spring Boot will start the IOC container as part of run method. Okay, next one. Next one. Here, dependency injection. How many ways we are going to do the dependency injection in the boot application? How many ways we are going to do the dependency injection using IOC container? We can perform dependency injection in 3 ways. We can perform dependency injection in 3 ways. We can perform dependency injection in 3 ways. One is setter injection, second one is constructor injection, third one is field injection. One is setter injection, second one is constructor injection, third one is field injection. Third one is field injection. Okay, setter injection, constructor injection, and field injection. Now, so first we'll understand what is this setter, constructor, and field. Okay, good. Guys, give me 2 minutes of time. Guys, I asked you people that how many of you can attend this 8:30 batch for RESTful services. From today, we are starting the introduction part for the RESTful service. I want to send you one small survey so that I can understand how many of you can attend that. And if anybody is not able to attend, we'll see alternate for that. So in that batch, daily class record will be shared with 1 or 2 days of access, so that you people can complete this batch quickly. Instead of waiting for 3 to 3.5 months of time, if you can attend both classes parallelly, then it would be easy for you to complete it. I'm giving RESTful services survey, RESTful services at 8:30 a.m. IST. It will be daily 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. I need your name, email, contact number, WhatsApp number. If all of you can attend, and if you can manage with that 2 days of recording, then I'm more happy. 1 second. Parallelly both classes, 7:30 to 8:30 boot and 8:30 to 9:30 rest. I'm going to send this link for the people who enroll for this batch. Check your email, guys. From today, you can attend that. Give me 1 minute. I'm taking the emails. Guys, I have sent you a mail. Please check that mail and complete that survey so that I will get an understanding what to do for that. All of you, please check your email. I have sent it. Sir, it is complete RESTful services and microservices. 2 months. Complete RESTful services and microservices. First, we'll discuss RESTful services. That means uh, part 4 and part 5 of our course. Part 4 and part 5 of our course. So I will give you overview. So what is going to happen here? Now, as we started discussing part 1 boot. Okay. Now, part 2 is going to be data JPA. Part 2 is going to be data JPA. Part 3 is going to be MVC. Part 4 is going to be RESTful services, and part 5 is going to be microservices. Okay. Now here at 8:30 from today we are starting with this part 4. Part 4 and part 5 will continue in this 8:30. In the 7:30 you can attend this part 1, part 2 and part 3 so that parallelly you can complete the boot within 2.5 months of time. Okay, definitely you will be able to understand, that is guarantee from my side, no issue. And anyhow you are going to get the recording also. Daily class recording you will get to your mail with 1 or 2 days of access, so you can revise that also. Got it? Got my point? Part 1, part 2, part 3 at 7:30 class, part 4 and part 5 at 8:30 class you can attend. So there is no dependency, guys. There is no dependency. You will be able to understand. There is no dependency. You will be able to understand. If you want to continue in the sequence manner, 3.5 months it is going to take to complete the all the parts of our course. That's why the best option. So if you can attend parallelly, easily you can complete within 2 to 2.5 months of time. Definitely this part 4, part 5 will take 2 months of time. Class recording will be there if anybody having office at 9:30. If you are then you will get the class record, no problem. Good. Guys, I need all of you to fill the survey. Only 40 people completed. Only 40 people completed the survey. I want everybody to respond. Yes, record will be provided, sir. No issue. You will get the recording. Some people are having office starting at 9 o'clock. Okay, I will talk to you, sir. Please provide your details. 45 people responded. Each 7 people are there in the class. Only 45 people responded. Please complete that survey quickly. Some people are having React class at 9 o'clock. Okay. Yes, sir. Definitely you will be able to understand the concepts. No dependency. No dependency. You will be able to understand. So if you cannot understand, then why I will ask you to join parallelly? If you cannot understand, if the first 3 parts are the prerequisites, then why I will ask you to attend parallel? $63 people responded. Still more 20 people should respond. Yes, please check your mail. I sent a mail to you. Shivakumar, survey means we will understand how many of you are interested to attend 8:30 parallelly, how many of you are not able to attend at 8:30. I will understand that. I will get some idea. Bharti Patel, I can understand your problem. Yes, sir. So please provide the details in the survey. Everybody may not attend because some people may have some other classes also. I can understand that. Just I want to know the status. How many of you can attend? How many of you cannot attend? How many of you can attend and how many of you cannot attend? So if you really have a problem, so I have to accept it. Okay, so why are you not responding? Only 64 survey I got. 85 members are there in the class. Good. Fine. Guys, people who want to attend the class at 8:30 today. Today we are beginning the introduction part for that rest. So these are the Zoom details for that. 8:30 batch Zoom details are available. You can note down this and you can attend the class. If people who are not able to attend, no problem. If you can attend, these are the Zoom details for today's session. at 8:30 a.m. Now, in another 5 minutes, the class is going to start for RESTful services. So today we are starting the introduction part for web services. Please take these Zoom details. Please note down. Attend at 8:30 if you can. Today we'll start with the introduction part of web services, how these web services came into the market. From today is the first session for web services. You can continue with this if you can attend parallelly. People who are not able to attend parallel, I will check the reasons, guys. I will get back to you today. I will talk to you people who provided the survey. Now, Zoom details available here. You can note it down for 8:30. 8:30 a.m. IST, RESTful services batch. Please take a screenshot. Join in another 5 minutes. RESTful services class. Yes, you can connect directly. You can connect directly. Take the screenshot. In website also you can take it. In the website also we have it. In the chat also I pinned. Take a screenshot. 8:30 directly you can connect. Good. The people who said no for attending, if you have a problem, so I will check it, guys. I will check those details now. I will check it and I will get back to you. If you can attend, please attend this at 8:30. Chandra, you want to speak to me? Yeah, call me after 2 o'clock, sir. Call to our institute number after 2 o'clock. I will be there in the institute and I will leave you a call. Good. Fine. So today we discussed about what is IOC container, what is dependency injection, and how many ways the IOC container is going to start in the Springboard, and how many ways the dependency injection is going to happen tomorrow. Practically, we are going to work with these dependency injections with the help of auto wiring. For all enrolled people, I have sent an email with the Google Classroom link also. So you got the class notes as well. Okay, today's class notes also I'm going to upload to the same location. I'm requesting you daily check your email before going to start the class. So if I change the link, you will get the email before our class starts, just before 5 minutes. Check your email with 08 SBMS subject. We will send you a mail with the new Zoom link. Not yet link is changed. Maybe today the link will change. I will send you an email for that. Class notes also uploaded to Google Classroom. If you want to attend RESTful services parallelly, 8:30 a.m. batch, these are the Zoom details. These are the Zoom details. Okay, now, thank you. See you tomorrow.